Family, this is Zebra Family Channel. I just want to ask each and every one of you to please make sure when you come in, you make sure you press the like button and subscribe, share as well. Today, what we're going to look at is what was in the cup of Ratha when he was delivering the judgment of 174, application for accused number 4. We have to look at many things because what we saw in that court was surprising and it shocked a lot of people. And so let's listen to what the judge has had to say about the 463 meters evidence that was never ever, or it might be me, it escaped my mind, but I don't remember any 463 meters whereby a cell phone was found next to Basuthu Hostel. But let's listen to what he had to say. But I will have my final conclusion at the end, analyzing exactly as to what was in the cup, or something else was happening. I will analyze at the end of this video. Please listen to what Ratha had to say in court.
Yeah, so some of the piece of evidence, for instance, which is important also, this phone, S4 cell phone, which was allegedly robbed out of the house of Kelly and her mom, house number 1135, Quinali Street, etc. The evidence is of a Zenani or Zandi that accused number whatever. I don't want to mention the name because that has not been settled. One of the robbers elbowed Kelly's mom and then took that cell phone. That cell phone was subsequently found in the late evening. It was about 463 meters away from Basuthu Hostel in the opposite direction. The evidence here, which is not contested, is that after Senzo was murdered, everybody panicked. Senzo was taken to hospital, Bopilong. Unfortunately, he loses his life there. The police subsequently returned on the 26th in the evening, and even on the 27th, they're busy with investigations. But what is telling is this. All the people who were inside the house, their cell phones were taken and they were downloaded. And there is proof beyond doubt that all those cell phones gravitated after Senzo was shot towards Bopilong Hospital. All of them. And when they came back, the cell phones were taken, obviously. But they first gravitated to the hospital. But no cell phone of Mrs. Kelly Kumalo went to the hospital because somebody took it, robbed it, and went the opposite way. That's where it was deactivated to show that its trip was never to the hospital. It was only away. And that shows forensically, according to the experts, that that cell phone was actually robbed.
Nkusenkantolo futhi ecaphuna ke kudaba ke lobufakazi obukhona ke mayelana nodaba lwezama cellphone noma abomakhalekhukhwini mhlawumbe ucingo ke bathi khona ke ucingo olathathwa lapho kuleli khaya ngesikhathi ekade senzeke isigameko noma ngaphansi kwendawo yesigameko kuloko umuzi walapha kwaKhumalo wathi ucingo lapho likakhili uKhumalo futhi athi khona ke uZandi into udaba lonkulumo wayekhuluma uthi omunye wabantu ababodwana ngesikhathi ade belapha bebamba ke inkunzi ngaphakathi kwala khaya ngaphambi ukuthi kushone ke uSenzo lapho ke bathi into eyenzeka ukuthi baphuca ke ifoni kumama kaKheli lapho-ke bathi futhi kade ku-463 omameters la ucingo lakhona kade lutholakala khona-ke uma ngabe uqhamuka lapho eBasuthu Hostel. Futhi bathi khona-ke ngemuva kokuthi lapho uSenzo adutshulwe-ke wathathwa wagijinyiswa lapho-ke esibhedlela saseBuphilong. Futhi athi bonkana ama-cellphones uma ngabe seyobuka kocwaningo lwezama-cellphone mhlawumbe ubufakazi okade bethula ngaphambi kusenkantolo ubufakazi babantu bonkana ade bekhona ngaphakathi kolwamuzi wesigameko. Bathi ngemuva uSenzo ashone adutshulwe lapho-ke ngokocwaningo lwezama-cellphone towers mhlawumbe ama-cellphone ke lapho mhlawumbe udaba lobufakazi bezama-cellphone eleke eshonile noma njalo ukuthi sele eshonile bese bahamba futhi babuyela-ke emuva. Bathi kepha-ke udaba locingo lukaKheli Khumalo lona-ke kade lungayile lapho-ke esibhedlela uma siyobuka ngaphansi kocwaningo mhlawumbe ngaphansi kokuphenya kwezikodaba lwezabomakhalekhukhwini. Kepha bathi nake kade lo lapho-ke kwibanga mhlawumbe phakathi komgama-ke oku-463 omameters uma ngabe uqhamuka lapho-ke eBasuthu Hostel.
There was also evidence concerning cell phone records.
Bathi kade khona-ke lonyake udaba oluquketha lapho-ke ushicilelwa phansi-ke kwazama-cellphone recording ngesingisi kushuthi inkulumo kade khona phakathi kocingo lomuntu oyedwa futhi nomunye wesibili.
And the utilization of these cell phones are attributable to the gentleman in front of us.
Bathi-ke lobufakazi lokho buquka khona-ke ukuthi icingo noma inombolo noma imininingwane yocingo ade khona-ke lapho-ke imininingwane yenu nina-ke bafowethu.
And the signal which was activated was in the vicinity of Basuthu. We all saw the map. We'll have to revisit it.
Bathi-ke
How
lapho
far the so-called crime scene house is and how far Basuthu Hostel is. Pinky actually made the remark that maybe if you go there using skates, you'll reach. That's how near it is. And a cell phone, technologically, it zooms in for effective usage onto the pole which is nearest to it. And the nearest pole there at Basuthu Hostel was that pole of phosphorus. And we can count the telephone calls, we all know them. There was communication across the board from accused number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and vice versa. Everybody was using a cell phone. Using a cell phone at or near and after even the incident, after Senzo was even long killed, the phone's communications continued.
Bathi khona-ke udaba lobufakazi ubufakazi obukhona obuquka phakathi udaba lwezabomakhalekhukhwini mhlawumbe ama-cellphone-ke lapho bathi khona kuyajengakala kulapho kwathi uPingi futhi wakhuluma lapho-ke esho khona ukuthi ithawa kade idobha-ke lapho-ke udaba lwezama-cellphones wenu-ke ngokwesingisi ama-cellphone towers bathi lokozana bathi ithawa eliseduze noma ithawa lingaphansi kwesigodi sasefosloras. Bathi futhi ade khona-ke inkulumo kade khona phakathi kwabasolwa bonkana ngemuva kokushona-ke kwamufi futhi angaphambi ukuthi umufi ashone lapho-ke bathi kade nikhuluma-ke lapho-ke amahlandlo amaningi uma sesibuka phecelezi ngodaba lwezama-cellphone records.
Mr. Khumalo says in his heads of argument, for instance, 14.12, in respect of the factual evidence of Zungu's evidence, the contradictions are material and affect his credibility.
Yacaphuna-ke inkosenkantolo mayelana nenkulumo ethulwe-ke lapho-ke ummeli advocate Khumalo ukuthi ubufakazi bakaZungu-ke ubufakazi obungekho futhi ubufakazi obungahambisani.
Today, what we want to look at in this judgment, I've got very few things to look at. One, what was in the cup? What was Ratha drinking? That's point number one. Was he drinking water or bekade phuza amanzi kamponjwana utshwala ngenye indlela lapha ekhati ecourt? We have to look at that because in all the evidence that I have ever followed in that court, anybody can dispute that. I will be very happy for other people to come with their own opinion as to what evidence they got from the court, since the case has been running from the first judge up to the second judge. Was there any evidence in that court that say that there is a cell phone that was found next to Basuthu Hostel, which is 463 meters away from the hostel, which is Basuthu Hostel? If anybody has got that evidence, please, can you help me? Because I will be reading all the comments to really find out what did I miss. Because according to the way I've been following this case, I have never came across such evidence that was before court. Okay, secondly, what I want to say here, what the judge has done in that court, bringing this kind of evidence in court, allegedly it's true or allegedly it's not true. I just want to understand, to all the audience that always come or watch the proceeding in court, as to, is there any evidence that they have ever came across of this magnitude? Because we cannot let this go, and we cannot at any given time, because this will, I don't know, this is what most people say, South Africa is a movie. Because things that are happening there, sometimes you don't even understand. You try to understand them. There are some things that are really crazy. Now we are in a situation of this thing of Mukwanazi. What Mukwanazi has discovered in our system, what is really happening within the law enforcement and the high profile people we trust. So I'm trying to say here, if there's any evidence to either anybody who will come across this video, can you help me, please? Secondly, if there was any juju that was used in that court to confuse the judge, because looking at the judge, there was a lot that you could say about the judge, but he was like something was happening within him wherever he was sitting there, because the way he was talking, his judgment was not typed like normal. All judges that come to court, when they come to deliver their judgment, they write their judgment. They are not everywhere. They just read what they have come to deliver in court. But with this judge, he came to show us something new. And the way he has refused this application 174, it's unheard of. I will say that, allegedly. It's unheard of. Somebody start to talk about things that never happened, that were not part of the evidence that was brought in court. It was really surprising. Lastly, what I want to take on in this instance is the communication about the phones of the accused people, the 5 of them in that dock. Is there any sin or is there any crime for them having their phones communicating to each other, according to the judge, that these people were communicating on the day when Senzo Meyiwa was killed? And even after, they continue to communicate. Can somebody help me there? What is it has to do with the case? Because even in their communication, nobody has come in court and say, if there were messages or if there were either communications, who was saying what to who about this case. And why is the scene of crime now, it's moved from Kelly Kumalo's house to Basuthu Hostel? Is it where everything, or Kelly and all the group that was in that house, they were all in Basuthu Hostel? Because the case now has shifted from the scene of crime to a new scene of crime that is called Basuthu Hostel. I don't know whether it's me who is thinking like that. If anybody has kind of a different opinion, I would love that opinion to be dropped in the comment box respectfully as to why you differ and the reasons of your departure in what I'm saying. Because what we are seeing here, it scares us as to exactly what was happening to the judge during that time when he was giving, or when he was delivering that judgment of 174. Because there is a lot that our mind are racing and trying to understand, even in that cup. What was in that cup? okukhona okunye, ngoba phela we have seen uMgomezulu leaving that court very sick, and he never returned to that court. And another thing that I want to ask from everybody in this family that we have in this YouTube, to please keep Mnisi and the crew of lawyers on the defense side, because now things are going to be tough, more especially when it comes to the witnesses that they are going to bring. Because as much as Mnisi has said he cannot communicate with witnesses over the phone, we know there's Absalom, the father of Constable Zong. I don't know, but I just want to ask everybody to keep these people in prayer, that on the 22nd, they must all come in one piece in that court. Because when we say South Africa is a movie, we just mean that. Because things are happening in that country. It is our country. We love it. We cannot run anywhere. But there are people who seem to love the country more than the citizens when they are not in love with the country. So family, please drop your comment respectfully as to what is your take on what Ratha has just said with this 463 meters away from Basuthu Hostel. And the elbow, I don't know who used an elbow to hit the mother of Kelly. And Kelly's mother was never brought to testify in that court. But the judge has been able to bring up things that were not supposed to be part of his judgment. Anyway, family, let's keep our fingers crossed that we'll cross the Red Sea at some point, and the family of the Meyiwa will get closure at some point. As long as we are still fighting for the Meyiwa family to get closure, let's keep the candle burning until the right culprits are brought to book as to exactly who deleted their son's life. It has taken long, but the fight is still on. Rome was never built in one day. Different kind of people break different kind of material. As much as we are doing now, this kind of material, never underestimate either what you say in the Senzo Meyiwa case. It's a block on top of another block that will build the case until the Senzo Meyiwa family gets really closure. Ngiyanithanda nonke ngothando lukaLove, ngithi yini bantu bakithi, noma ngabe izindlu zodaka kusekhaya la. Let's build our country, South Africa, and let's expose those who think they can pull us on the ground. Justice for Senzo Meyiwa now or never. Bravo, bravo, bravo.